What we wanted to do was go out and show the mainstream public, particularly those interested in fitness, that plants have all the protein you need, that you can achieve your health and fitness goals with a plant-based diet. And as someone who's been doing it for 25 years and have put on 100 pounds myself, I'm just one example of that. And so I surrounded myself with some of my best friends in the world, Danny and Giacomo, as well as other friends and colleagues who represent and wear it on their sleeves that you can achieve your goals on a plant-based diet and that plants, in fact, have all the protein you need. So there's a major protein myth out there. There's this idea that protein is this magical thing and the more of it we eat, the better. And we just need to get as much of it as possible. And that's not necessarily true, even in athletics. That once we meet our protein requirements, the rest just basically gets stored or gets excreted and it doesn't get used. So what we want to do is be efficient with our protein. What we want our protein to have is vitamins and minerals that come with it. Fiber, we don't want the cholesterol that comes in the animal-based form. We want the best return on investment that we can get nutritionally, and that happens to come from plants. And the reason why that is that plants contain 64 times more antioxidants than animal-based foods. Only plants contain fiber, which 97% of Americans don't consume enough of. There's no fiber in animal-based foods. Dietary cholesterol is only found in animal-based foods, and that is the Achilles heel of Americans and Americans' health. And of course, you get the vitamins, amino acids, phytonutrients, and importantly, water too, that are present in plant-based foods, which supply all the protein that we need.
So I grew up here in Haverhill. We did not have a lot of money, and unhealthy food is very cheap. And when you're living like paycheck to paycheck, week to week, you put the food you can put on the table. And unfortunately, that was pretty unhealthy. And because of that, or I believe because of that now, almost everybody in my family was very overweight. Many people were obese, but I just thought that was my family. That's how everybody was in my family, is just the way it was gonna be. And I was actually pretty okay with that. And then I went vegetarian when I was 8 years old, but still consumed quite a bit of dairy and quite a bit of eggs. And as I grew older, I started to follow the exact same path of the rest of my family, where I was becoming overweight, and by the time I was 16, I was 210 pounds. And when I was doing a research paper in high school about vegetarianism, I stumbled across some information about veganism and a plant-based diet, which I had never heard of. This was almost 20 years ago. And I decided to go vegan overnight. I didn't know anything about nutrition, didn't care about exercise or my physique whatsoever. I just was doing it for ethical reasons, and weight started to come off me. The next time I went to the doctor, they said, hey, you're down 30 pounds. And I thought, interesting. I wasn't even doing anything. I just eliminated dairy and eggs. I wasn't including anything particularly healthy at that point, but it got my wheels spinning that I could learn something about nutrition and maybe do even more.
My biggest hesitation with going vegan was that I was going to lose my ability to perform and recover as an athlete. However, I wanted to be healthy, and that's why I made the switch, despite those fears. In reality, after I made the switch, not only was I able to continue to train and get stronger, my performance and recovery improved tenfold. And now, as I continue to get older, I realize that it's a marathon and not a sprint, and I'm continuing to become the healthiest version of myself.
For me, it all started when I was in the military, because I did the military for about 8 years. 4 years fully active in the United States Marine Corps, then another 4 years in the United States Navy Reserves. And this mostly started when I was in the reserves period, and I was going to school at the same time. I saw Gary Yourofsky, which is a vegan activist, came into my classroom, did a quick speech about veganism, and that pretty much transitioned me to this lifestyle, because when he talked about like the animal ethics, the health, the medical, the environmental reasons, it just enticed my mind, because I served in war. I served in war. I've seen a lot of innocent people that suffered through that, and that kind of correlated with me when it came to animal suffering as well. So that's why I transitioned more. The misconception is like, where's the protein? You know, like broccoli, lettuce, kale, this stuff doesn't have protein. And what I do is enlighten people and show them that, no, it's not just salad. Like you can get tofu, seitan, beans, lentils, a whole bunch of stuff that has tons of protein that can put on a lot of lean muscle mass.
We are not just limited to what we think is like our genetic ceiling. With our lifestyle choices, we can do so much more than that.